What's up, sports nuts? Welcome to another episode of Sports on the Run. A little bit darker, as you can see. I got a little bit of a late start to my run today, but man, is it much nicer out tonight. It was a nice cool run, so I'm not feeling as winded. So like I said, we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna start off with the draft recap, of course, of the Indiana Pacers. We're gonna keep knocking these out until we knock out all the teams. Hoping to have that done by, maybe a week to 10 days. I'm gonna try to knock out a couple a day if I can. But today we're also gonna start introducing our just kind of chats about the NFL. We're gonna break down teams by division. And since I am a Birds fan, we are gonna start with the NFC East. So we'll start with the Philadelphia Eagles because that's probably the easiest one for me to break down right off the bat. Tomorrow we'll hit America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. So let's jump right into the Pacers on today's NBA draft recap. So they had 3 picks in the draft. Starting at number 6, they took Benedict Mathurin. If I mispronounced that last name, I apologize. I like the pick for them. Good fit in Carlisle's offense, I think. He's a 6'6" wing who can do a little bit of everything. I think he fits in well with them. I think they're kind of looking going guard heavy because there are a lot of rumors of, Malcolm Brogdon potentially being on the move. Whether that's to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook as part of a Russell Westbrook trade. Maybe it's a 3-team deal, we'll see. But that is the latest on that, with the Lakers also in heavy pursuit of Kyrie Irving still, even after he picked up his option. And Russ also picked up his $47 million option, so it makes him very, very hard to trade to match up those salaries. But regardless, if they keep Brogdon, he's a good, Mathurin's a good fit next to Brogdon. For a good backcourt of the future. They do still have Chris Duarte out of Oregon, who I thought showed a lot of glimpses last year, and Tyrese Halliburton, who I still think they fleeced from the Kings. So they are a very guard-heavy team, but until they find that right formation, maybe they think that's Halliburton and Benedict. That could be their backcourt of the future. Or maybe they're going to slide Mathurin over to the 3, and you've got your Halliburton, Duarte, and Mathurin. So either way, they took in my opinion, one of the best players available, and Benedict, and that's a good fit. Like I said, he's a guard that can do a little bit of everything. Fits right into a kind of a play now, rather than needing to go to the G League for a while. I think he can slide right into that starting rotation from day one. If you go into the second round, they took the guard out of Gonzaga, Nembhard. Again, I think this is just a depth piece. They don't have much point guard depth behind Brogdon and Halliburton. Brogdon always being more of a combo guard anyway, not really a starting point guard. So he's a good depth piece. He can shoot, so I think he could play combo guard off of either of them in that second unit. So it's just a great fit. Another good pickup for the Pacers. And then I think they got a steal later in the second round in Kendall Brown out of Baylor. Brown was a consensus top 30 pick from numerous draft analysts. So great pickup for them. So all in all, a very solid draft. I give them an A for the draft overall. But let me know what you guys think. What you think of the Pacers, what you think they did overall. I think they knocked it out of the park. So great job, Indiana. Another team on the upswing. If they keep Miles Turner, then I think Kendall Brown could slide into that combo 3-4 eventually into that starting unit. If they move on from Miles Turner, then he's a good part of the rebuild. So we'll see what happens in Indiana. So now let's transition over. We're going to go over to the NFC East and to the Philadelphia Eagles, who has been a very, very active team in the offseason. Just really looking to bolster that offense, obviously. So we're not really talking about, this isn't like a draft recap, it's more of a team recap of the offseason. So we'll start on the offensive side of the ball. Kind of shocked everybody in the draft by making the trade that they did and not really giving up that many pieces to bring in A.J. Brown to bolster that wide receiver core. So now they kind of have a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 1A with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. The wide receiver 3 I think could be up for grabs in training camp. As of now, I think it is Quez Watkins. He's just kind of a shifty, speedy guy that can play opposite on the outside or in the slot with either of those two, depending on where they want to line up A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith from game to game. Running back still, they have a potentially great running back group if Miles Sanders can stay healthy. That has been the issue, but when he's healthy, he has Pretty dominant, especially as a yak. His yards after contact, his yards per carry, he averages, well over 5 yards per carry for his career, or at least over the last couple seasons. He just can't stay healthy, and his touchdowns just haven't been there. Backing him up, you've got a trio of Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, and undrafted free agent Kennedy Brooks out of OU. So I think that they have a potentially strong running back group. I think that Kennedy Brooks is the over 1,000-yard rusher each season at OU, double-digit touchdowns, so he could be a sleeper to come in and dominate the ball if Miles Sanders does get hurt again, because I don't think that Gainwell can be a ball-dominant running back, and Boston Scott works best out of the third down, in my opinion. Tight end, you've got your Dallas Goedert. He's big, he's a stud. If he can work on his drops, then he could ascend into that top 5 tight end in the league category, or conversation, I should say. They also drafted late in the draft Grant Calcaterra, very super athletic tight end, great catcher, a little on the skinnier side to be a dominant blocker at the next level, but he could fit into a great pass catching role when needed. Could be a long-term complement to Dallas Goedert, a la Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert over the last few years. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball. Offensive line speaks for itself. First ranked last year. Everybody coming back. Landon Dickerson a year older. Jordan Mailata a year older. And they also drafted Cam Jurgens out of Nebraska, who I do think is going to be a stud as well. Switching over to defense now. This defense, I think, should, if everybody stays healthy, should scare NFC East teams and just the NFL in general. I mean, they've got depth for days, especially on that defensive front. You've got your edges of Barnett. You've got your interior. Barnett, Hassan Reddick, who they brought in this offseason. Interior, you've got Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, and then you have backing them up Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat. I mean, that interior can just rotate in and out, and you're not going to have a weak spot or any kind of run-heavy deficiency. They will be stout against the run, and I can't wait to see it. And then you've got Derek Barnett. You've got Brandon Graham on the outside as well. So just lots to like at that. And then in your linebacker core, you bring in Kazir White on a very cheap 1-year deal, which the Chargers coach, San Diego, I'm still saying that. The Los Angeles Chargers coach just thought that was a steal for us. I'm going to try to wrap this up really quick. Sorry, I only got a couple minutes left. I don't want to keep them all under 10 minutes. So then you've got Nakobe Dean, 3rd-round steal. If his health holds up, he is going to be a steal of the draft. And then you got our cornerbacks. You've got Darius Slay. We also were able to sign James Bradbury to act as our CB2 opposite Slay. So good luck throwing on that duo there. And then we've got Anthony Harris and Tart out of San Francisco that we signed this year in free agency. And then you've got Epps backing them up. I am just very, very excited for this team. The defense is deep. Even if injuries hit us, we've got a very deep linebacking core now, which has always been our weak spot as Eagles fans know it. So, like I said, tomorrow we're going to be talking about our arch rival, the Dallas Cowboys, in addition to another NBA team. So, hey, if you have anything you want me to touch on specifically with the Cowboys, then let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay impartial. I promise I will not let my Eagles fandom affect tomorrow's video in any way. So I promise I will. Yeah, I'll do my best. All right, I'm only human. So hope you liked the video. Sorry it dragged on a little longer today, but first day of NFL, so maybe I've learned my lesson that I should keep NFL vids on their own, but we'll see how I can do going forward. All right, so thank you for watching Sports on the Run. # Sports on the Run, # Eagles, # Go Birds, and # Indiana Pacers. Have a good night, sports heads.